Welcome back. It was a big week for tens of thousands of students who received both their Leaving Cert results and CAO offers. But what happens if you or your child didn't get what they wanted? What do they do next and how do they deal with it?
Well, family therapist and member of the Institute of Education, Richard Hogan, is here with some practical advice and next steps. Good morning to you,
Good
Richard.
morning.
Richard.
Good morning, Ray.
Thanks.
A tough week for lots of students and indeed families, Richard.
Absolutely.
The first round of CAO offers came out, as well as, of course, the results.
I think it's a very important thing to acknowledge. It's been an incredibly stressful week for families and for young adults in this country. And we place an awful lot of pressure on them. The Leaving Cert, we've all been through it. It's the monster of the exam. It's the biggest exam you're going to do, and you're still so young.
Yeah.
So on Tuesday, the results came out, and then on Thursday, the offers came out. So it's been, that's an incredible week. So I think it's a very important conversation. There are a lot of kids over the last couple of days who've been very disappointed with the results.
We didn't hear what they wanted.
Exactly,
I suppose there's a couple of things. One is that how can kids, it's been an ongoing discussion for generations, how can kids so young, kind of in junior cert, be expected to make the decision that will impact on the rest of their lives? And then how do we expect them to cope then, I suppose, this way? I suppose they brought it closer together, haven't they, the offers and the points? They're all in the 1 week now, finally.
Yeah.
So I suppose one way of looking at it is you get it all out of the way in one go. But the other is it's a massive
hard
week.
to cope with.
It's a massive week, and I've been talking to a lot of parents over the last weeks, and they've been saying about the stress they've been under in the space of 3 days.
Yeah.
Getting the results, trying to wonder what does that mean now for them? Will they get their place? Because as you know, with the point system, it can fluctuate, and especially the new point system. They can go up and drop. They can drop, quite substantially.
So it's all changed.
Yeah.
So what, Richard, can parents be doing if they have a child who's disappointed?
Yeah, I think it's a very important question, Anna, and I think it's this is such a learning moment for the young adult in the house. They're only 17 or 18, probably.
Yeah.
Their brain hasn't fully formed yet. I mean, they're going through a really difficult time if they haven't experienced what they were hoping. They didn't get the desired outcome goal, and I think young adults can really focus in and become linear in their thinking, and they can start to think that if I don't get to UCD with all my friends, that's me out of the race for college now. And they can view the next step in a very kind of myopic, short-sighted way. So parents, I think it's a really great question. Parents must broaden that lens for them and show them that there's many ways to the one destination.
Yeah.
If your heart has been set on UCD, and that's a lovely aspiration, or Trinity College, let's say, the two big colleges, DCU, the big colleges in Dublin, you want to go there, and your friends are all going there, and that's what I'd see a lot of my clinic students coming in with, that stress. I want to go to UCD, I want to get these points, and they place incredible stress on themselves, but all they see is that university. They don't see that there's so many options out there for them, and that they can get back. They mightn't get in there now, they mightn't have made the points for the undergrads, system, but they can get in as a postgrad, they can come back to it.
So there's so many different
There's so many ways to
take.
it, yeah. There absolutely is.
In terms of resitting the Leaving Cert and getting their head around that.
Absolutely,
that's, I suppose, the biggest consideration if you are disappointed.
And if you are disappointed, I think that is incredibly important to think about. You can do the Leaving Cert many times. I've known a student.
What's another year, eh?
Yeah, but when you're 17 or 18, what is another year?
Yeah.
And that's about broadening your thinking.
Yeah.
It's only a year. I mean, it's actually only 9 months, Anna. When you think about it, it's only 9 months. You probably start.
It does feel, when you're younger, it feels like the longest time.
It does.
Whereas I know now, once you're that bit older, it's like, oh my God, it's a blink of an eye.
I had a student there 2 years ago, and I talked about her before because she was incredible. I found her really inspirational. She studied really hard and didn't get medicine. And I met her getting off the train next September, and I met her and ran over to her, how are you getting on, how are things? She was like, yeah. I said, are you disappointed? She's like, no, I'm just going to repeat it. And that's the mentality. Now she's in the RCSI, flying through her. And like, what was that 9 months to her, really? Nothing. But it was her attitude about, I'm just going to repeat it. I'm going to get my head down and I'll give it another go. And if I don't get it this time, I know then it's not for me. And I'll think about something else.
And I suppose that is the important thing for mums and dads, really, to show that support, that like, it's okay now if you have to repeat it, to show that, like, we've got your back, we're behind you.
I think it shows great determination, actually.
When I was in school, it was a kind of a stigma.
Exactly.
You repeated to get into college. All right, you're one of those. It's absolutely a sign of maturity.
Yeah.
I didn't get in this go. As we know, when you're 17, 18, an exam can be an incredibly stressful. I mean, you can go into the exam, you're literally shaking, and you're trying to think and go through the whole process. You might need that little bit of a year to mature and to get through the,
And again, it is a life lesson as well. Like, it's the nature of life. You try
Absolutely.
no more than trying to pass your driving test or to achieve anything in life.
And it's
if you don't see the first time you try it again.
And right, sometimes it's those little knocks that are the important part that,
The learning.
the learning, you get that bit of resilience, you realise, actually I went back, I got into college, now I know how you succeed.
Yeah.
You meet the challenge, you see adversity, you overcome it. You see that there are other ways to get to a destination. That's crucial.
So true. What would you say to the students who've worked incredibly hard and didn't get what they want?
I think
and that's a very hard case, isn't it?
We all feel for that student who's worked really hard and fallen short. And I think that's the part about talking to them about broadening their lens. That, okay, you didn't get what you wanted this time. Let's have a look about where do we go from here. And I think a really important resource in a school is the guidance counsellor. Access that. That's a free resource.
But do all schools have that?
Yeah, they do.
I mean, I know they should.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
No, the level. I'm fortunate enough to work with really, really great guidance counsellors who are really motivated by getting to get the student to where they want to go.
Yeah.
So that's a resource that's really important. So just to say, if someone's sitting there today, they didn't get the points that they wanted, right, and they're disappointed, I would say make sure you go onto the candidate self-service portal and you have a look at the papers. This Tuesday and Wednesday, you can view your scripts.
Okay.
It's so important that you go in and view your scripts. But you ring the school tomorrow and you ask for the maths teacher who just say you didn't get the points for maths or you didn't get the points for English, whatever it is. You ring the school and say, I want to come in and view my script. You'll have to have nominated that script last week, right? You're going to come in on Tuesday or Wednesday. Is the English teacher available to view it with me so that they can go through it?
So is this your marked script?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know you could do that.
No, that's a really important piece, and I think parents must hear that. You can go in, some students don't actually know this, you can go in and view all your scripts.
Yeah.
So just say if you're chasing 10 points, 15 points.
You could scrape a couple of points
Of
here and there.
course.
The amount of things I've seen over the years as a teacher, right?
Yeah.
That you'd see parts of, like, maybe Macbeth wasn't actually corrected. Huge sections of the paper mightn't have been corrected. There might have been an error by the corrector.
Yeah.
I mean, there's huge pressures on correctors too to get through the volume of scripts that they have. So there are moments where human error will creep into it. So if you're bitterly disappointed with your result, it's really important that you contact the school tomorrow and ask for that teacher in question to be available on Tuesday or Wednesday, whatever day they're available, and go in and meet them and then go through the script, because they're the experts. They're going to tell you, well, yeah, that was there's nothing, say the biology. There's nothing wrong there. That's actually should be full marks.
That's really worth to know, particularly if you've been devastated during the week and you're thinking, geez, what am I going to do now? The other thing as well, I suppose, is like you were saying, broaden your view. That there are really very few careers. I mean, if we're not talking about the social life in UCD necessarily, or whatever it was you had your hopes pinned on for first year and going with all your mates. But if it's about the career, if it's about your future, it's about your livelihood, there are very few careers really that you have to do that course and do the thing. There's a bunch of other ways.
I mean, I'm a systemically trained family psychotherapist. I started off, studying English. I mean, you go on so many different roads. I mean, my English degree stood to me when I wanted to be in teaching and lecturing and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But, there's so many ways to get into whatever it is that you're really passionate about.
Yeah.
And that's what students need to see. They need to remain hopeful. Don't get disillusioned because you didn't get the points. There are really a lot of options open to you, as I said, about viewing the scripts and having a look at that whole thing, but also, about emotionally. Stay hopeful. I mean, you're going to find your place. We all find our place. And that's an incredible message that parents must help their child in that supporting, is that you will find your place in the world. Right now it feels like a full stop. It's not a full stop. It's just, a little bit of a hurdle that you have to overcome.
Exactly.
We all overcome hurdles all through our life. So this is a great learning moment.
As a family, I suppose.
Absolutely, yeah. And it's a really learning moment for everybody in that family.
Oh, brilliant advice as always, Richard. Thank you very much for joining us.
Good to see you again.
Cheers. Hopefully some mammies breathing a sigh of relief this morning.
Yes,
We're grand. We're
still
going to be all right.